5 events that change a man's life forever. There are moments in a man's life that break him, and then there are moments that remake him. They don't come with warning signs. They don't ask if you're ready. They just happen, and once they do, you're never the same man again. These are the 5 events that transform a man from who he was into who he's meant to become. 1. Being broke. There's a certain kind of broke that humbles a man down to his bones. Not the low on cash till payday broke. I'm talking about the kind where you're lying awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, wondering how the hell you'll eat tomorrow. When your phone lights up with bills you can't pay. When every call feels like bad news. When your pride starts to taste like bitterness. That kind of broke doesn't just empty your wallet. It strips you of your illusion of control. It exposes who you really are when everything else is gone, and forces a man to confront one brutal truth. Without money, what do I really have to offer? And that's when something starts to change. It's in that silence, when there's no one left to call and no one offering a hand, that something inside you shifts. You stop waiting for luck. You stop hoping someone saves you. You start building yourself. That's where hunger is born. Not the kind that craves food, but the kind that craves change. And once a man's been that broke, he moves differently. He values differently. He'll never again take peace, stability, or money for granted. Being broke doesn't destroy you. It introduces you to your real self. 2. A friend betraying him. Betrayal doesn't just come from enemies, it comes from brothers. The ones you laughed with, trusted, maybe even defended when no one else did. Betrayal hits harder when it comes from someone who knew your scars. Someone who said, "I got you, brother," and meant it, until they didn't. It's not the act itself that breaks you. It's the realization that loyalty isn't always mutual. That pain changes how a man sees people. It sharpens him, makes him cautious. He starts to watch more than he speaks. He learns that not everyone who smiles with him would bleed for him. But here's the truth. Betrayal isn't meant to make you bitter. It's meant to make you wise. You learn to trust selectively, to love carefully, to give loyalty only to those who've earned it, not those who've asked for it. A man who's been betrayed doesn't become cold. He just becomes calculated. He knows that peace is expensive, and he's not letting anyone buy it with empty words ever again. 3. The death of his father. Nothing shakes a man's soul like losing his father. Whether they were close or distant, that day carves something deep. If they were close, the grief is unbearable. It's like the world loses its structure. If they were distant, the regret cuts even deeper. Words unsaid, moments lost forever. But either way, that's the day a man feels it, the weight. The realization that he's next in line, that there's no one left above him to call for guidance. He starts seeing time differently. He thinks about legacy. He questions what kind of man he's becoming and what kind of man he'll leave behind. For some, it ignites purpose, a reason to be stronger, wiser, more intentional. For others, it's a slow awakening, a reminder that life doesn't wait. A man truly becomes a man the day he realizes his father's lessons, flaws, and silence all shaped him. And in that understanding, he finally steps into his own. You start to understand legacy. The strange thing about losing your father is that it forces you to become one, even if you're not a parent yourself. You begin to realize that the torch is in your hands now. You are the man you once looked up to, or the man you swore you'd never become. And that realization, that's when boyhood dies. 4. Getting his heart broken. There's heartbreak, and then there's the heartbreak. The one that changes how you breathe, how you trust, how you sleep at night. It's not just losing a woman. It's losing the version of yourself you were when you loved her. The hopeful, open, innocent part. Every man remembers the first woman who broke him. Not just because of her, but because of who he was when he loved her. Heartbreak isn't just the loss of a person. It's the death of the version of yourself that believed love would be enough. You start out thinking love will conquer everything. Then one day, you find yourself staring at the wall, realizing it didn't. That kind of pain changes the way you breathe. It makes you question your worth, your instincts, your ability to ever open up again. Some men shut down. They build walls so high, even genuine love can't climb them. Others, they evolve. They learn that being vulnerable isn't weakness, that healing doesn't mean forgetting, it means forgiving yourself for how hard you fell. The truth is, heartbreak matures a man. It teaches him that love isn't about possession, it's about presence. And that sometimes, losing someone is what finally teaches you how to value yourself. 5. Realizing nobody is coming to save him. This is the moment every man eventually faces, the day he stops waiting for help and starts moving on his own. It usually comes after disappointment, when every plan falls apart and you realize no one's coming. No parent, no mentor, no woman is coming to rescue him. He can pray, he can hope, but at the end of the day, it's his fight. That realization hits hard, like standing in the rain with no roof over your head. But after the panic fades, something beautiful happens. He wakes up. He starts taking responsibility, not just for his failures, but for his future. He stops blaming the world, stops waiting for luck, and begins crafting his own destiny, one disciplined step at a time. That's when a man becomes dangerous, not to others, but to his own excuses. Because when you realize no one's coming, you become unstoppable. You stop living like a victim and start living with intention. Every action has weight, every day has purpose, and every failure becomes just another brick in the empire you're quietly building. That's the freedom most men never reach, the power to say, "It's all on me, and I'm good with that." Final thoughts. A man isn't defined by comfort. He's defined by what breaks him and what he builds afterward. These 5 moments, they don't destroy you. They forge you. Being broke humbles your ego. Betrayal sharpens your judgment. Losing your father roots your identity. Heartbreak opens your soul. And realizing no one's coming to save you, that's the one that turns you into a man with fire in his eyes. Because from that moment on, he stops living like life happens to him and starts living like life happens through him. And that, my friends, is the day everything changes. If you relate or agree with any of these, do give a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, and share with others. I'll see you in the next.